Some things never arrive because nothing told them they were welcome. You may have noticed this without realizing it. A house with no light in the window feels closed, even if the door is unlocked. A road with no lamps feels endless. A shoreline without a beacon feels easy to miss. Light has always carried a simple message, not demand, not instruction, but permission. This is not new knowledge. It is older than language. Long before theories or techniques, people understood that light was how you signaled safety, how you said, "You may come this way," how you showed that someone or something would not be turned away. And the body still understands this. Your nervous system responds to light automatically. A soft lamp at night calms you. A single glow in the dark quiets the mind. Even now, when you wake from a dream, you may reach for light before you reach for words. Not because you are afraid, but because light reminds you that you are not alone. What is less spoken about is that the subconscious responds the same way, not as belief, not as magic, but as recognition. Across many old traditions, light was never used to command outcomes. It was used to mark readiness. A candle in a window, a lamp kept burning, a fire tended even when no one was watching. These were not requests. They were signals, a way of saying, "I am here. I am open. I have not closed myself off." Over time, many people learn to dim themselves without noticing. Disappointment teaches it. Loss teaches it. Long stretches of quiet teach it. You stop expecting much. You stop signaling, not out of bitterness, but out of fatigue. The light goes off, gently, without ceremony. This practice is about nothing more than turning it back on. For 7 nights, you leave one small light on, not a bright light, not something that disrupts your rest, just a single, steady source, a lamp in another room, a night light, a candle-safe lamp placed where it feels natural. It should feel comforting, not symbolic, ordinary, almost forgettable. You do this at night because night is when the mind loosens its grip, when effort falls away, when the body stops managing and starts listening, and you do nothing else. No affirmations, no asking, no visualizing outcomes, no naming what you want. You do not try to use the light. You do not explain it to yourself. You simply leave it on, and you let that be enough. This is important, because this is not an act of desire. It is an act of allowance. You are not trying to attract something specific. You are not summoning anything. You are making yourself visible again, to life, to timing, to possibility, and most quietly, to yourself. During these 7 nights, you live as you normally do. You sleep, you wake, you go about your days, and you notice, without searching. Often what changes is not dramatic. A message arrives from someone you hadn't thought of in a long time. A conversation feels lighter. A small opportunity appears without effort. Sometimes it's simply a sense of calm that settles in, as if something inside you has relaxed its guard. You may feel safer in your own space, less alone in the evenings, more at ease with the quiet. These are not signs to interpret. They are experiences to notice. Nothing is being forced. Nothing is being called in. The light is not for the universe. It is for you. It is a way of saying, without words, I am not closed. I am not hiding. I am still here. And often, that's all that was needed. We'll talk about what people tend to notice after the 7 nights are complete, and why the timing matters more than the outcome. For now, remember this. Some things find you not because you asked, but because you left the door lit. When the 7 nights are complete, nothing special needs to be done. There is no final step, no moment of conclusion. You do not turn the light off with meaning, or keep it on out of habit. You simply return to what feels natural. This matters, because what follows is not something you control. Often, What people notice afterward is a soft shift rather than a clear event. A sense that the air around life has changed slightly. That waiting feels less heavy. That time no longer feels stalled in the same way. It can feel as if something has quietly resumed its movement. You may notice people being a little more responsive. Not dramatically, just enough to be felt. A call returned, an invitation mentioned casually, a small opening where there was none before. These are not rewards. They are responses. Sometimes nothing external changes at all, and yet something inside loosens. A long-held tension releases. Sleep deepens. The evenings feel less empty. There's a gentle reassurance that arrives without explanation, like remembering something you always knew. This is why the practice is quiet. When you do not ask for anything specific, the mind does not strain. When you do not expect results, the body does not brace itself. The light becomes a background presence, and in that neutrality, your system remembers what openness feels like. This is not about belief. You do not need to believe in anything for this to work. The body does not require belief to respond to warmth. The mind does not require belief to soften when it feels safe. Light speaks to something older than thought, and it is important to say this clearly. Nothing is being summoned. There is no invitation to unknown forces, no signal sent outward into mystery. The light does not reach beyond you. It settles within your space, your home, your nervous system. It restores a sense of continuity, as if life is allowed to pass through again instead of around you. Many people go long periods without realizing they have made themselves hard to find. Not physically, but emotionally, energetically. They become quiet in ways they never intended. The light is simply a way of undoing that, gently, without effort or analysis. If nothing noticeable happens, that is not a failure. It may mean the light did exactly what it was meant to do. Remind you that you are already enough, already present, already connected to the movement of things. And if something does arrive, a feeling, a moment, a person, a possibility, you do not need to attach meaning to it. You do not need to chase it or protect it. You simply acknowledge it, the same way you would notice the glow of a lamp in a dark room. This practice is not something to repeat endlessly. It's something to remember. A way of returning to a posture you once had naturally. The posture of being available to life without asking it to prove itself first. Tonight, if you choose to try it, let it be simple. 1 light, 1 space, 7 quiet nights. And then, let whatever is already on its way recognize where you are. Because some things find you not because you asked, but because you left the door lit.